Tuesday. I am in the car this morning driving to work. Moving a little bit slow this morning because there was a huge spider in my bathroom this morning. That freaking thing was as big as a quarter, it seemed like. So I'm running around trying to dispatch of that because I could not let that be in the house. I didn't want no surprises in my bed or in my clothes or in my shoes. I don't know what kind of spider it was, but it was not going to live in the house. So I'm running around this morning trying to dispatch of that freaking thing. So I lost a little bit of time on my getting dressed this morning because when I got up, I did my stretches and all that good stuff to help me move around a little freer. So I am behind schedule a bit this morning, but that's okay. My leadership always says that we would rather you get to work in one piece than be concerned about flying down the highway because you were late. So, try not to be late, but if you are late, take your time. So I am taking my time. I'm only a few minutes behind schedule this morning. But I'll be there shortly. I'm not too far from my exit. So how is everyone doing this morning? I hope everyone is doing fine. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. I hope you have all the things that you need. This traffic is not going too slow this morning, and people are. There's not that many people on the road. Y'all know I'm in the 5 a.m. traffic, even though I'm moving a lot slower this morning. I started out in the 5 a.m. traffic, and now we're edging towards 6, so it's still dark, as you can see. You all probably cannot see me, but I am definitely here. Let's see, hold on. There I am. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. We're not going to be driving down the road with that on, that's for sure. That's a distraction. So I am going to attempt to start my fall seeds today, but before I do that, I'm going to try to sow some pepper seeds in some cups, get them started. That way I have a really big plant, hopefully, that I can put out into the garden or put in the greenhouse and overwinter. I did have a pepper overwinter, a shishito pepper, but of course almost all the peppers succumb to the elements because my cattle panel lost its greenhouse plastic. The wind is so awful in my area, you all. I mean, the wind is just horrific, and so it ripped the brand new greenhouse plastic off of my cattle panel. So this year I'm going to try something a little bit different. What I normally do with my citrus is I leave my citrus up against the house and I cover that independently. Well, not independently, I group them. And then I put a frost blanket over them. And then, okay, drive safely, people, drive safely. I put a frost blanket over them. Then I put the greenhouse plastic over that and I pinch around the base of those plants. I push all that up under the pot and secure that, and I leave that up against the house. I don't bring that inside of the greenhouse. And so I'm going to do a similar thing with my plants in the cattle panel, and I'm hoping that that will be the ticket to keeping them alive. You don't have to water as much in the winter time, so it won't be me having to unhook it, unattach it, uncover it, and water a lot. It's just a little bit of water, maybe once a month. I mean, once a week. And, excuse me. And keeping an eye on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut some stuff back. And some stuff, not everything. Take off any dead or dying leaves. Like on my cannas, I put my cannas whole in the greenhouse. And by the time they came out in the spring, I had to cut all those leaves off dang near. And so I'll do that prior to putting everything away. And then I did the same thing in the greenhouse. I covered everything. I put a frost blanket over the top of everything in the greenhouse. And then I put a greenhouse plastic over top of that. Or did I? No. I put a frost blanket over everything in the greenhouse, and I closed the greenhouse up. Now, one of my windows came loose on my greenhouse, and I need to go and find a screw and put the window back up. So I'll be doing that soon. I just left it off right now because it's so hot in the greenhouse, but I'll be putting that window back up before the cold sets in. I need to move my wood pile first, and that's something that I'm not looking forward to doing. So once my watermelon is done, I can cut those vines away and pull those vines out. Then I can move my wood pile, pick up the sunshade, and then put the window back up, and then put the sunshade back, and then put the wood pile back. So I can do that. And doing that, I'll also be able to lay that one little paver down, because I need to put one paver right where the footing of that. I'm sorry, y'all. Hang on a second. Oh, excuse me. I need to put the footing of the wood pile on top of that paver stone. So that'll take care of two things once I do that, if that makes any sense. And so I'm almost at my exit. Let me get over. I've got one more exit to get to. And, well, actually, no, the next one is mine. So I am moving over across the highway. My goodness. I'm tired. And I was tired last night. It was 100 degrees at 7 o'clock. Well, no, let me stop. It was 100 degrees at 5 o'clock. Because that's when I was going to think about going outside. I was going to think about it. And I realized that it was 100 degrees at 5 in the afternoon, 5 in the evening. And I was not trying to go outside at that time, because I was going to start the seeds yesterday. But it was just too hot. And I was in no mood for it. So the garden was watered for the most part. I turned on the irrigation, the bits that work, and those bits were watered. So I will go out and hand water a little bit today, the areas that's not being watered. And then I will gather my supplies and start planting up via the cups. I'm going to put some peppers in the garden. I'm hoping to get peppers overwintered. So I've tried peppers numerous times. I'm going to try peppers again. I need to harvest my worm castings and put my worm castings in the garden. And put some more coconut core in the worm bin. And start a new feeding bucket, if that makes sense, because I don't feed in the same bucket. I let them eat all the food in one bucket, then I switch it and harvest that worm castings, and then once all of that food is gone, then I'll switch the bucket again, because I've got a 3-bucket system, and then I'll put food in the next bucket and let them feed out of that. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be putting coconut core and getting that bucket ready once I harvest it, to put food in that particular bucket, and then I'll switch it once they eat the food from the second, if that makes sense, the second bucket. Right now, the second bucket has food. I'm going to harvest the first bucket, put new coconut core in that, and once they finish the food in the second bucket, I'll take that first bucket that I'm getting ready to harvest, and put food in that, and I'll swap the first and second bucket. So does that make better sense? So I'll be harvesting worm castings, and I'll be putting worm castings in the new containers that I've created over the past couple of, well, probably about a month or so. I need to harvest my callaloo seeds today. I have so many callaloo seeds, y'all. I don't need these, so I'm going to try to catch them before they get ripe. Ugh. I'm trying to decide if I want to put the callaloo in a different container. That's what I'm trying to decide. That's what I'm trying to decide. Because I picked up one of those buckets and it's becoming brittle, and it broke in my hands. My fingers broke it when I picked it up. And so I'm trying to decide. I only wanted one bucket of callaloo, but y'all know how callaloo is, and if you don't, callaloo seeds will spread everywhere, and you'll be pulling baby callaloo out for the longest time. It took me quite a while to get that callaloo under control, but I was able to pull all those baby callaloo sprouts out. I gave my sister some callaloo, and my sister had enough callaloo. She gave some callaloo to my aunt. She said, girl, this callaloo. I said, honey, I thought I told you, honey. I thought I told you that callaloo, once it goes to seed, baby, you will have callaloo. So I am pulling into the parking lot in just a moment. Oh my goodness, y'all. I am ready for a cup of coffee. I'm feeling tired. Ooh, pardon me. I am feeling tired. This truck behind me is doing the most. His bright lights are in my eyeballs. All right, everybody, I am pulling up to the parking lot at work. And so if it's not as hot, it's 79 degrees right now, and it's still pitch black dark. So if it is not too extreme, I will try to make a video. I may have to go into the garage, which means I'll have to move some things around, which is something I'm not trying to do, but that might be what I need to do. And start some seeds, some pepper seeds in some cups. Because I think I'm going to direct sow everything else. All my brassicas are going to be direct sowed, I think. We'll see. All right, y'all, let me pull up, and I'll see y'all later.